What's up, everybody? It's JD Gentleman from motorx.com, your scoops everything Philly. In celebration of Black History Month, we are highlighting 4 local chefs here at the City Kitchen in the Reading Terminal Market. These chefs are going to be making some amazing dishes. Then we're going to pair with an amazing Tito's vodka cocktail. All right. So we're going to get started very quickly, but first and foremost, let's introduce our chef for today and see what we're cooking up.
So my name is Chef Kristol Bryant. Some of y'all might have seen me on Chop. I am a Chop champion, and I'm a owner and executive chef at K1893. Today we are going to do a 5-spice duck.
Okay.
With a sweet potato ginger mousseline.
Okay.
Braised collard greens.
What?
And an orange cash streak.
Everything sounds great. All right, we got our ingredients. Let's get cracking. What do we need? What do we start with?
So the first step is start with your duck breast.
All right.
Now, this is about a pound duck breast.
Okay.
You see, you want to make sure it's nice and clean. We want to take some of this membrane off.
Okay.
So we're going to clean it up some, make sure it's nice and clean, take some of that silver skin off like I did.
Yep.
Then you want to flip it over. Make sure your duck breast is nice and dry.
Okay.
Because you don't want water and oil don't mix.
Very true. All right.
And then we're going to score it because duck, it has a lot of fat to it.
Okay.
And scoring it helps it render the duck fat down. It helps it get a nice crispy skin. So we're going to do what we call a crosshatch.
Okay.
That's just a fancy word for X's.
Okay.
So now we're going to just go across.
All right, so we're gonna make them X's.
Right. We're going to go.
The only time that we want X's in the kitchen.
Yeah, you know, that's right. Now we're going to go across the other way.
All right.
So we have 4. We're going to be doing 4. Let's start with another one.
Okay.
Same thing.
Same process.
You see that silver skin?
Yep.
Make sure we
Get
clean
that
it
out
up.
of there. Bring them X's back.
And then bring them X's back.
That's right.
See? Crosshatch. Now you know, like I can say X's and you'll be like, oh, I know what that is.
All right, we're gonna crosshatch,
So
and then we're good
done.
with that, right?
Yes. So now we're going to get all that excess out of here.
Yep.
Now we're going to season our duck breast up with our 5 spice. That's the
Okay.
spices I was telling you
Right.
about. It's 5 spices.
5.
5.
What are the 5 spices?
Star anise,
Okay.
cloves, cinnamon stick, Szechuan peppercorn. If you
And-
don't have Szechuan, you can use black,
Okay.
and cloves.
Okay. All right.
So we're going to season this up with the 5 spice. Now you want to mortar it, grate it down,
Okay.
use a coffee grinder, use a Vitamix just to get the spices.
Okay.
You could toast them if you want to make a more fragrant
Oh,
5
okay.
spice,
Yeah.
or you could just grind them up.
All right, we're gonna get it nice and seasoned.
Nice and seasoned. Make sure the skin is completely covered. We're going to do both sides
Both
of.
sides.
Yeah,
All
we
right.
want all that flavor.
Can't skip out on the flavor.
No,
Gotta put it in there.
that's what we all about.
That's
We all
it.
about flavor. That's soul food right there.
So while we're doing that, speaking of bringing the flavor, Black History Month, what does that mean to you, especially as a black chef, a female black chef?
You know, Black History Month is something that I believe we should celebrate all year round, but it's particular right now, and then we don't recognize or tend to recognize us throughout the rest of the year. So it's great to have this month that actually have the opportunity to recognize what we've done, what we
Yeah.
contributed to the world and to the United States.
Absolutely.
Because a lot of times people don't know and won't recognize it
Yeah.
if we don't put it there in front of them.
Absolutely.
In
Just
front of their
gives
face.
us a time to highlight, give the flowers to the people that are alive,
Right.
and the ones that are dead, and just show some love.
Show some love, especially in culinary. Like the culinary world is like a forgotten world, like especially about African Americans
Right.
that contributed
Right.
to the culture and the soul food. You know,
Absolutely.
everybody loves some soul
Right.
food.
They
I
don't
don't
know
know
where it came
nobody
from.
that don't
Right.
like fried chicken.
Exactly.
Fried chicken is a
And some
universal
seasoning.
language. It's some seasoning. But you know, it's our time to highlight. Now
Okay.
I'm gonna season this up with salt and pepper.
All right. So we got our seasons in there. We'll put some more salt.
We put some salt on here.
Get on both sides. Okay.
So the first thing you want to do is start your duck breast in a cool pan.
What's the reason for that?
This is the reason for that is it'll help render out the fat
Okay.
without it actually being at a higher temperature.
Okay.
The higher the temperature is, the quicker the fat, the quicker the skin is crisp on it, and the fat won't render out. It's
Okay.
a really thick layer of fat on the duck breast.
Okay.
So you start it out on a cold pan, and it slowly brings it up and helps to render out that
Okay,
fat and get
gotcha.
a crispier
Okay.
skin on it.
That's a nice little tip for you guys back home.
So we're gonna start this out cold pan. We're gonna do it on a medium-low heat.
All right, we're gonna put it in the pan.
Don't overcrowd it. So
Okay.
because these are so large, we're only gonna start off with the tip.
All right, we got the duck. They're crackling, they're sizzling, they're cooking.
You smell it?
Yes,
you smell
it
it?
smells
Like,
amazing.
yeah.
The
Wish we
flavor.
had smell-o-vision. Like I swear to be. Like,
Soon. All right, so we have that going. What's next?
So next we're gonna get started on the collard greens.
Yes,
Now,
the staple. Yes.
when y'all cook in order to what takes the longest to what takes the shortest, because y'all want all your food to be
Healthy
done
tip.
at the same time.
I like it.
So we're gonna take an onion,
Yes.
one yellow onion. We're gonna start trim it up.
All right. We got the onions going.
We got the onion, so
Okay.
we're gonna do a quick julienne.
Okay.
That's slicing.
Slicing.
We're gonna slice.
Yep. I know
You
that
know-
term.
you know that term?
Okay.
And you want to pour this off every so often because it'll get too much fat in there. So
Okay.
you do want to pour it off. But you know what we're gonna do?
What are we gonna do?
We're gonna take that fat and actually use it to help us raise our collard greens. Look at that.
Oh.
Look, we ain't wasting nothing.
Resourceful, reusing. All right, so we put the fat in here and
Fat in
it's
here.
heating up.
It's heating up.
Okay.
We're gonna start cutting, going real
I'm
quick.
not gonna lie, onions is something I just fell in love with like last year.
Oh,
I
wow.
wasn't really an onion guy,
See,
but now I'm with it.
you got it. It's so many different ways to do onions.
And that's what it was. But I'm with it now. And
That's a good thing.
you gotta have it now, so it's good. So what we're gonna do with the onions?
So now we're going to take the onions and we're
Okay.
going to put it in our pan
Okay.
with the duck fat.
All right, so we're gonna put the rest of the onions in there. Everything's smelling great already.
You
Like
see it?
I'm smiling. It looks good.
So
Smells good.
we're just going to let that sweat out.
Okay.
So we're going to let that sweat for a couple minutes, 2 to 3 minutes.
2 to 3 minutes. Okay.
And you know what I'm going to do?
What's that?
Since we doing vodka, you know?
We're gonna put the Tito's in
Yeah,
there?
we're going to put the Tito's in there.
I love it. Yes. Let's get
So
us really started.
we
Put some
celebrate.
Tito's.
You might as well celebrate.
Why not?
And another rule of thumb,
Okay.
never cook with what you won't drink with.
Okay.
So don't go to the supermarket and buy cooking wine and stuff. It's too much salt.
Okay.
If you drink it, you can cook with it.
Okay.
I'm not saying put a $100
Right.
bottle in there,
Right.
but you
Okay.
got to be able to drink it.
Helpful tips all day.
Help, see, look at that.
I love
Look
it.
at
I
that.
love it. So what's the vodka gonna do with the onions while it's right here sweating?
So
In the fat.
it's gonna infuse the flavor
Okay.
into there, and it's gonna start. We're layering flavors.
Okay.
Everything is about layering flavors.
Okay.
So, going to check our duck.
Put some the. Okay. All right. So now we flipped over the duck. We got the onions going. What's next?
So now we're going to pour in. I like to make the stock first to put the collard greens in. We're going to add our chicken stock.
Yep. Gotta have the stock.
You need vinegar. Anytime you cook collard greens, you need vinegar.
Okay, vinegar.
Vinegar helps break down the bitterness of the collard greens
Okay.
and the fibers.
All right. So you gotta have the vinegar
Vinegar.
with the greens. Got it. What's next?
Next, we're going to put some sriracha in there.
Okay.
Because
Get a little spicy.
I like French Asian fusion.
Okay.
So and soul food.
Right.
So we're gonna put some sriracha.
All right. So put the sriracha in.
Sriracha. And then we're gonna put some Szechuan Asian sauce in here.
Okay.
It's gonna add a little sweetness to it,
Okay.
and it's gonna balance out the whole dish.
Wow, that smells so good.
And now we're gonna let that come up to a boil. We're gonna have this come up to a boil.
Okay.
While we're waiting for this to come up to a boil,
Okay.
we're gonna clean our collard greens.
All right.
So
Bring the greens in.
yeah, bring the greens in. So we're gonna take some greens,
All right.
and it's just a quick, if you black, you know how to clean some greens. So
So
just take the leaves off.
That's
there
it.
you go. Look. You don't want the stalk. It's too fibrous. You don't want that.
So while you're doing that, let's talk about your culinary background and what kind of got you into cooking for other people and putting a smile on people's faces.
So, I always wanted to be a chef. Even
Okay.
when I was little, I always wanted to be a chef.
Okay.
And when I had my son at 17,
Uh-huh.
college just wasn't in the
It wasn't in the cards.
in the cards. And
Yeah.
I got a pamphlet to go to culinary school. And I went to culinary school, which was a program that we have here in Philadelphia called OIC, because
Okay.
I couldn't afford it. I had a son at 17,
Sure, it's
then I
hard.
had my daughter.
Yeah,
And it's a free program where they give you basic culinary skills training.
absolutely.
And I started from there.
Wow. So how long have you been professional?
Over 20 years now.
Wow.
I know, it's crazy.
Wow,
like,
that's amazing.
It's so many things that I've done that I've never thought I would do.
Right.
Like I've done the Super Bowl.
That's amazing.
I know. It's like I've done
So,
James Beard.
Speaking of highlights, what's one of your proudest moments while being a culinary professional?
You know, one of my proudest moments is President Obama came to my hotel when I was executive chef during the last DNC, when the DNC was here, and I actually cooked for President Obama. So
Major flex. Flexing. That's a great proud moment. I don't know if you can top that. All right, so we got our greens going.
We got our greens. We got, you see, it's coming
boiling.
up. It's boiling.
There's
so
many flavors going on right now. It's amazing.
And don't be scared to use spices. It's like how you do it that makes it all work together.
Right.
But you got to make sure every individual one has its own flavor.
No purpose. It's flavor than that.
So now we just got to let that cook down.
All right. So we'll let that cook.
Let that cook.
Okay.
We're going to go back and check our duck.
Okay.
And if you see collard greens that's green, they're not done.
Okay.
Don't be scared to let these cook.
What's the hue you want? The color?
A dark green.
So how long, more or less, will we let the greens cook?
So
and everything.
At least 15 to 20 minutes.
Okay.
You want to let these greens cook.
All right.
This is not a 5-minute
Yeah.
situation right here.
Yeah,
so we're going to let
it settle a little bit.
Let these cook.
Okay.
Let the flavors develop.
Okay.
And let the fibers cook down and let that flavor get infused.
Okay.
So now we're going to go back and check our duck.
Yeah.
So
it's looking good.
We got it nice and golden brown.
All right. So we're going to
bring the duck over here and we're going to let it. This is the important part into cooking meat, protein.
Okay.
Any protein.
Okay.
Letting it rest. Letting it rest. Because what happens is your meat is like this, and when it rests, it relaxes.
It kind of settles into
it settles in it. It's like working out. You gotta let your muscles relax.
Okay.
So we're letting it relax.
It looks great. All right, so we have the duck over here. They're setting over here.
Right.
Greens are cooking. We cleaned out the pan. What's going on in the pan?
Now we're gonna put the other 2 duck breasts we had.
Okay.
So we're gonna start it, and you want to start this on a low heat.
On the low.
Just because it's already been heating up.
So you want to keep it on the low because it's already been heated.
It's already been heated.
Got it. Okay.
So we're gonna do the same thing.
The same process earlier.
Yes. So now, while we're letting the second batch of duck cook, we got the collard greens on.
Yes.
It's sweet potato time.
Love it.
Sweet potato. 2 to 3 sweet potatoes, depending on how big they are. Okay. We're gonna peel them.
Okay.
So
while we're doing that, we can talk a little bit more. Let's talk about the Philly food scene, more specifically the black chefs in the scene. What are your thoughts on that? What's the community like?
Well, the community is small. It's small for who we know.
Mm-hmm.
Like we know a couple people that's been on Top Chef.
Yeah.
That has won or participated,
sure.
But it's a lot of great black chefs that's here in Philadelphia that we have no clue that's here.
Right.
Because they just don't get the recognition that other chefs do, which is a shame.
Yeah. So how do we go about kind of putting them on, highlighting these other chefs that would like to get, some spotlight?
Well, just what y'all doing right now, taking the time and looking and seeking out some of these chefs that are doing great things in Philadelphia,
Absolutely.
That's creating opportunities for us. And plus, we gotta support each other. We gotta seek out as chefs and put on events that support each other and showcase what we could do. I try to, whenever I do an event, mentor. When I came up in the industry, it was not a lot of women chefs.
Sure.
The women chefs that were there, we was competing for the jobs because there wasn't a lot of jobs. It's a male-dominated industry.
Absolutely.
So I actually go back to the school that I came from, and I'll bring some of them young women to an event just so they could participate in some of the activities that I do.
Right, and just kind of see it for themselves.
Just see it and be able to network and know how to conduct yourselves and know how to deal not only with positive situations, but difficult situations.
Absolutely. That's more much like what it is in the kitchen. Not everything goes according to plan.
No, you got to be able to go with the flow. You got to be able to adapt. You got to be able to change. And so, like I said, when I was coming up in the industry, I didn't have a woman to actually look to ask questions to.
Yeah.
I got a lot of my mentorship from men.
Right.
But, it's nothing like a woman's perspective on how to deal with certain situations in the kitchen.
Absolutely. Well, you're trailblazing. So we're definitely excited for you to be here, and everything looks great so far. We got the sweet potatoes.
Sweet potatoes is peeled.
All right, gonna cut those up.
So now we're gonna cut them up, just a rough cut.
Okay.
It's nothing fancy about this. If
right.
anybody has ever done sweet potatoes, they know how hard it
They know
is.
what it is.
Try to get it as even as possible.
All right, so there's really no rhyme or reason, just as easy, even as possible, correct?
As even as possible.
Okay, cool.
Especially when we're doing the mousseline.
Right.
Mousseline is just a fancy word for a puree that's creamier, a little bit creamier.
Okay.
So we're gonna add that to the pot. So we're adding our sweet potatoes.
Yep.
We're gonna check on our duck.
Yes.
We got all that fat coming out. So we're gonna
That liquid gold over
that
there.
liquid gold. So put that back on.
Yep.
You see?
Yeah.
It's getting beautiful color.
Let's go.
So we're gonna continue to let this render down, let
Okay.
it cook some more.
All right.
We're gonna check on our collard greens. You
It's getting
see?
there. Yeah.
It's getting there.
It's starting to
You
get
see?
there. Yeah.
It's not that bright green color.
Right, not there yet.
People get scared. Don't get scared.
All right, so let that cook for a little while. It's almost there, but not
It's
there
almost
yet.
there.
All
Not
right.
there.
What's
So
next?
we're gonna finish off our sweet potatoes. So
Okay.
we're gonna get some coconut water.
Okay.
Add this. It's gonna add great flavor.
Okay.
It's not gonna water it down. Like a lot of times, I don't like to cook things in water because it tends to water it down.
Okay.
We're gonna do this on a fairly high heat, medium high.
Okay. Good to know.
We're gonna add some ginger to it.
Right.
So just you can use powdered, the granulated or the ginger that's already done, but I prefer to use fresh ginger.
Why not?
Especially when we down here at the Reading Terminal
Absolutely.
Market. Like
They have everything you need.
they have everything you need. And
it
why
just-
not
it'll
go
just taste
fresh?
better.
It'll
You can
elevate
tell the
it.
difference.
You can.
Absolutely.
So we're gonna put that in our pot.
All right, so ginger in the pot.
Ginger in the pot.
Got it.
Coconut water.
Yep.
Turn that on medium high
Medium high.
and let it go. Let
it
it
go.
get nice and tender.
For how long?
This is going to take about, depending on how thick you cut it, maybe 10 minutes,
Okay.
if that. But all this should be done around the same time.
So what's gonna be next?
So we're going to do the gastrique, but I
Okay.
didn't want to forget
Yes.
the duck bacon.
Yes.
Get it here at the Reading Terminal Market. See, I didn't want to add this at the beginning because it's already cured. It's
Okay.
already cooked, basically. So we already see our collard greens.
It's getting there.
It's getting there. So
Yes.
now we want
Now
to.
put that in there. I love it.
You see the flavors?
I love it.
You see?
I love it. Yeah, so we're gonna put that bacon in
We're
there.
gonna put that bacon in there and we're
Okay.
gonna let it finish up. We're gonna let it. We don't want the bacon to get tough on us, so
Okay. Move it around a little bit.
move it around. Like,
Ooh, man, I can see all the flavors and the juices.
oh
getting in
my
there.
goodness, you see that?
Yeah, that
You
looks
see,
good.
It's coming together. So
Love it.
I'm
What's
gonna
next?
actually cut that off
Okay.
because that's looking good right
All
there.
right.
That's
Cool.
looking good.
That's it for a little bit.
Let's let that sit.
All right. So what are we going to next?
We're going to do the last part of it,
Yes.
which is our sauce.
Okay.
So we're gonna. This is easy.
The easy part. This is
Equal
easy.
parts vinegar and sugar. So
Okay.
we got our sugar. We're gonna put our sugar in our pot.
All right. So we'll put the sugar in there.
Put the sugar in.
Love it.
Just plain white sugar.
Easy peasy.
Easy peasy.
What's next?
Our red wine vinegar.
All right. All right. Gonna pour all of that in there.
All of that.
Love it.
And then our orange juice.
Orange juice. Okay.
Orange juice.
That's right.
This is an orange gastrique.
Love it.
So we're gonna pour.
All right. So I'm assuming the fresher the better, right? For the orange
The
juice?
fresher the better. So
Okay.
I bought this at the produce market over here.
Okay.
Fresh organic orange juice.
Love it.
But you can use the Tropicana.
If it's in the fridge,
yeah. You know,
But preferably-
I-
fresh orange juice.
yes.
Got it. Okay.
So all we're going to do is now we're going to cut this on medium, about medium heat.
Okay, medium.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be because we're not starting off with sugar and stuff. If it was sugar, we would start medium low
Okay.
and let the sugar caramelize.
Right.
But we put everything in here. Now we're just going to let it
rock.
let it rock.
I love
let
it.
it rock.
All right.
So while we're waiting for all this to come together,
Okay.
we're going to do our garnishes
All right.
for the dish. So I got some blood oranges.
Oh. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
That's gonna look good.
I know, right?
Presentation.
It's all about the presentation too. You know, you eat with your
You're
eyes
right.
before
Yes.
anything else.
All right. So everything's multitasking right now.
Everything's multitasking. We got the
The sweet potatoes.
Sweet potatoes
Yep.
coming up. The ginger is infusing into
I can
coconut
tell, yes.
water.
Yep.
We got the gastrique going.
Gastrique.
We got that coming to a boil.
Okay. What's next?
Now we're going to do some orange segments.
Okay.
So I got some blood oranges.
Okay.
I didn't want to use typical oranges because I want to make the plate pop, but I do want to add color to the dish.
Okay.
You know. So
Absolutely.
we're going to do what we call segmenting.
Okay.
We're just going to cut in between each of the segments of the orange.
Right.
So you see that beautiful red color? Oh my goodness.
That looks great.
You're supposed to cut them in eighths.
Okay.
Like 8 around.
Right.
And then we're just going to take our knife and we're going to go and segment.
Okay.
Look at that beautiful.
Oh, wow. All right, so we're going to fast forward a little bit. All right, so what we got going on right now?
Okay, so we're going to remove our duck.
All right, duck is good.
Duck is good.
It looks good.
So we're going to let that rest.
Okay, let it rest like earlier.
Like earlier.
Got it. All right, so the green's looking good.
Green's looking good.
Perfect.
Perfect.
What's next?
Gastrique is finishing up, reducing, almost done.
Excellent.
So we fast forward a little bit. We
The
did
puree.
our puree.
Okay.
So if you see this, it's nice and
The
silky
consistency
and
is
creamy.
nice. Yeah, that looks
We
so
added
good.
coconut milk,
Right.
and butter,
Uh-huh.
and then we seasoned to taste salt and pepper.
Got it.
I use white pepper.
Okay.
I didn't want anytime you do French style cooking,
Uh-huh.
you don't want them black specks, or it
Ah.
has to be nice and clean and crisp.
Okay.
So we use white pepper, coconut milk, and
Easier
some butter.
to blend in with the other colors.
Yeah,
Okay.
because you don't want it to
Right.
look.
No, it looks great. All right, so the puree, that was the sweet potatoes from earlier, right? Got
the
it.
sweet
Okay.
potato and ginger.
Yep.
We use some of the coconut water to start it.
Right.
Start the puree up. Finished it with coconut milk,
Got it.
butter, salt, and pepper.
Then you let it mix.
Then you let it mix.
Got it.
Nice and creamy.
Awesome. So that looks great. The consistency looks amazing.
Thank you.
And that's going where?
So we're gonna start plating.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
All right. So it was a process, but I think it's worth it. Where are we at now?
We're ready to plate.
We're ready to plate.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right.
So-
My favorite part.
Plating leads to eating.
That's it.
So we're gonna pull our duck over that we let rest.
Yes. And the duck looks phenomenal.
Duck. So we're gonna start. I like to start with. We're gonna do the sweet potato.
The puree. Okay.
So we're gonna take, and you can do this with a regular spoon. Just drag it.
That's what they do in the fancy restaurants.
Just drag it.
Yep. Very nice.
Then we're gonna take our collard greens
Yes.
with duck bacon,
Yes.
onions,
I think
Tito's vodka.
Yeah, I'm really excited to try that, especially with the Tito's in there.
We're gonna take some of that.
All right.
So we're gonna do that parallel.
Okay.
Nice and easy, beautiful.
Is this like a specific design that you always do, or is just kind of
I mean,
standard?
It's just what I feel for the plate.
Fair
You know,
enough.
it's
Fair
just the feeling.
All right. So we have the greens. What's
We
next?
got the greens, we got the sweet potato.
Yep.
Now we're gonna take some of our duck.
All right.
So-
big boy in there.
Yeah. So I'm gonna trim off the ends.
The juice just
Beautiful.
stayed in there too.
Look at the skin. You
Yeah.
see?
Yeah, nice and
So,
crispy.
yeah.
I see it.
That's what
That's
the
what we
cross,
were aiming for.
That's what the cross hatching does.
Awesome. Dropping gems, learning some new tips. I love it. Bring that
So-
over there.
We're gonna bring this right here.
Ooh. Put a couple more pieces on the plate.
Just a couple. You know.
Yeah, looks good.
And
Job
then-
well done.
And then we're gonna finish it.
All right, how are we gonna do that?
We got our oranges.
Yep.
We got our gastrique that we
Uh-huh.
have reduced down. Look at that beautiful color.
Yes, that looks great.
And we're gonna just toss a couple of our oranges in there.
Okay. All right, so we put the oranges in there.
Oranges in here.
Love it. Mix it
So-
around a little bit.
Get them nice and coated.
Okay.
We let this cool down a little bit.
Right.
We don't want the oranges to cook. We
Okay.
just want the oranges
Just in there.
in there.
Got it.
And the way you tell if it's done is if you take the spoon and you take the back of it and you put a finger and it keeps that line.
Oh, yeah, okay.
You know your sauce is ready.
These little tips. I love it. It's ready to
So-
go.
And then just a little
A
sauce
little drizzle.
around. Look at you, a little drizzle.
Yeah, a little bit.
Little bit.
All those
some on
cooking
that
shows. Wow.
And there we go.
That looks phenomenal.
But I wanted to take it up a notch for you.
Okay.
I want to do something
We're already
special
at
for you.
the peak. Where else can we go?
Nah, we could take it a little further, further. So
you got the blowtorch over
we're
here?
going to smoke it.
Oh, wow. What's this going to do?
So this is just going to pour a little bit of smokiness into the dish.
Okay.
So I got my smoked chips.
It's like saging. It smells like church.
This is how you up the presentation.
Wow.
So we're gonna let this clear.
I was not expecting that at all.
Like if you wasn't here, and I was like,
yeah, it wouldn't be the same.
It wouldn't be the same. And then I'm gonna let you do the honors.
Oh, word?
I'm gonna let you do the honors.
All right. Let's do it. Ready?
Look at it.
Here we go.
Oh, whoa. Whoa.
It's like saging in the kitchen. That's amazing. Awesome. I think that's it.
That's it.
We dig in?
Yeah.
Oh.
Come on.
Is there a specific way to do it or just dive in?
Just dive in.
All right,
You want to try to get a little bit of everything, but everything should be good on its own.
Okay. I'm going to try this. The duck. All right. I'll put a little duck.
Yeah, a little bit of that.
All right. Bon appetit. Here we go. Whoa.
That's a real reaction, y'all. He can't fake this.
That is amazing. That is amazing. Wow. I'm going to put this back on. Chef, thank you so much. That was incredible. How can people find you on social media, websites?
So you could go to my Facebook page or my Instagram. My Instagram is preferably chef.kristol. That's chef.kristol. Or my website will be up soon at www.chefkristol.com.
Awesome. I'm going to take one more bite.
You gotta taste the greens though.
Oh, word. I forgot about the greens.
Yeah, you can't forget about the greens. That duck bacon is in there.
Hold on. Let me give me some more. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, all day.
This is so crazy. That was amazing. Well, I'm like all over the place. Thank you once again.
Thank you.
Appreciate you coming. And I just want to say thank you to Tito's Vodka for sponsoring this, also the City Kitchen and the Reading Terminal Market. But stay right there because we're going to pair this amazing dish with a refreshing Tito's Vodka cocktail. So you don't want to miss it. My name is Jay the Gentleman. I'm from motorists.com. And as an added bonus, Tito's is going to donate to the charity of your choice for coming through and doing this. So that's good, good food with a good cause. All right?
Yes.
Stay tuned.
Hey guys, it's your girl Daja here at City Kitchen at the Reading Terminal. Here today to bring you another cocktail sponsored by Tito's Handmade Vodka. Huge shout out to Chef Kristol who made us this great duck dish today that I'll be pairing a cocktail with using Tito's Vodka and some dragon fruit. You guys have probably never used dragon fruit or you've seen it and you probably just stood away from it because it looks strange, but actually it tastes really, really, really good. So the first thing we want to do is check the inside of the dragon fruit to make sure it is fresh. Please get a knife, but be careful. Start from the middle of the dragon fruit, and then you'll slowly work your way all the way around. So I know you're probably thinking, if you've never tried dragon fruit before, Daja, what does it taste like? So dragon fruit, so this is pretty good actually. Dragon fruit comes from like the kiwi family. So if you do like kiwi, this is your thing. If you don't, probably try another fruit. So once we see that we cut it and it's all good on the inside, we're gonna scoop out the inside and put it into our shaker because we want to muddle it. So while we scoop that out, and it should be soft, easy enough to pull out. And as you can see, this is what it looks like. This is the pulp in it. You'll add this right to your shaker. Then we're gonna use our muddler. Again, if you don't have one of these at home and you don't have a shaker, again, you guys can use a mason jar. It has perfect because it has a lid on it. So we'll take our muddler and we'll muddle it down. And again, guys, it should be fairly easy. And I purchased these right here down at the Reading Terminal. Once that's all muddled down, we're gonna move to our next step, which would be adding some fresh lime juice. So that looks pretty good. Again, you can use a handheld juicer, or you can just use your hand if you don't have one at home, but it is your best friend. I think you should. So we're gonna squeeze, and this looks like a great full of lime juice. It's really gonna bring out that flavor in the dragon fruit. There we go. So our next step would be to add 3/4 of simple syrup. Again, this is brown because I use cane sugar. It's more on the healthier side. To make simple syrup at home, always remember equal parts. So 1 cup of sugar and 1 cup of water. You'll bring that to a boil. Once it's boiled, you'll remove it from the fire and let it cool, and you can store it into your fridge up to 3 weeks. This does not have to only be for cocktails. You can use it for desserts, your tea or coffee, whatever you need, but that's what you need to do. So again, 3/4 of simple syrup. After the simple syrup, we're going to add 1 ounce of orange triple sec. This is going to bring out the flavor in the duck dish that Chef Kristol made, which looks amazing, by the way. We're going to do 1 ounce of. After adding our triple sec, we're going to do our 2 ounces of Tito's vodka because more is better. And you're at home and you're drinking responsibly. So after adding our 2 ounces of Tito's vodka, we're going to add some ice. And my favorite part, we're going to shake, shake, shake. And while you're thinking about this, think about Big Mama. Big Mama would shake what she has. So shake it. Perfect. Smells delicious. So next we'll get our glass, add some more ice. And we strain. If you don't have a strainer at home, again, just pour it all into the glass. Make sure we fill it all the way to the top. Get everything in there. Perfect. And you guys know I'm a garnished queen, so we're gonna take the dragon fruit that we used from earlier, not the same size. We're just gonna cut a piece off. And again, my trusty dusty paper clips. And the reason why I'm so upset with paper clips is COVID, and you know, if you haven't guessed over, they won't necessarily want to know that you are putting the fruit that you touched in the glass, so it's prettier on the side. But here you are. This is called Big Mama's House. It's made with Tito's vodka, dragon fruit, fresh lime juice, and simple syrup. Again, thanks for watching, guys. A big shout out to City Kitchen out here at Reading Terminal. A huge shout out to Chef Kristol, who made this amazing duck dish. And lastly, thank you to our sponsor, Tito Vodka. This has been Daja from Sip Lightly. Cheers.